Do you want to tell us about some of the panels that you've been to today, or something that has surprised you?
I mean, I'm just learning all the time, just speaking to people every minute of every day. And whether it's just one-on-one or at the panels, right now there's a discussion about the power of corporations. Earlier today, fantastic panel on Egypt, Afghanistan, and the coverage of war. Sharif Abdel Kouddous was the first speaker, Democracy Now! Senior producer, and he's just done such a remarkable job covering the uprising in Egypt, the 18 days that rocked the world. Really made this epic political event personal, so that every day I think people waited with bated breath. What would happen to Noha Radwan, the UC Davis professor, who after being on Democracy Now! Was beaten by thugs in the street of Egypt, her head cut open, goes to the hospital, it's sewn up, and the next day she's back in Tahrir, or Monel Saif, the young activist, or Nawal Saadawi, the 79-year-old Egyptian feminist who'd been imprisoned before, but always had confidence that people would throw out the despots. I mean, you just came to know the people. It's the power of independent media. Hearing people's names, knowing who their families are, what they believe. It's not just that bird's eye view, sort of from the moon down to Tahrir Square. It's important to see that because it was so massive, about 1 million people, then 2 million people. But also, who are these people? When you had the corporate media looking like they were under the covers in the hotel room with a lower third that said, reporting from an undisclosed location, versus Sharif Abdel Kouddous in Tahrir broadcasting to everyone. I call that trickle-up journalism. He became one of the top tweeters in the world.
And one of the nice things about Sharif's reports was that it wasn't just a simple report. I mean, he was emotional, he was giving facts, and he was really human. I mean, friends of mine in Vermont were talking about how human his reporting was, and they felt like they were actually there in a different way from the other reports that we were getting on the corporate news.
Because he was a part of the society that was rising up. His family is one of the most prominent in Egypt. His grandfather, Hosni Abdel Kouddous, is the most famous writer of Egypt. His great-grandmother, Rosal Youssef, is one of the great Egyptian feminists. She founded Rosal Youssef magazine, which exists to this day. I mean, he intimately knows Egyptian society. He flew into the airport and went directly to Tahrir, and as he was going, he said, whatever happens, this is before Mubarak fell, he said, this is no longer Mubarak's Egypt, and he was so right. He just felt the difference, whereas someone parachuting in who'd never been there, how would they know?
And he was talking about the power of social media, social networking, while he was there, and the Twitter feed that he was able to get out. I'm not sure if folks at home heard that part of the story, but you must know it well, that Jeremy Scahill actually took over his Twitter account and was...
Well, as soon as Sharif landed, we were texting back and forth and realized that Sharif could actually text, though he couldn't tweet because Mubarak had shut down the internet, just hit the kill switch on the phones and the internet. So since Sharif could still text, he texted Jeremy Scahill, great investigative reporter in New York, and he used Sharif's Twitter account to tweet out Sharif's comments, and even to, at Democracy Now! We posted his blog reports, his observations, that went beyond 140 words, and that was Jeremy putting together his sentence by sentence by sentence, because he could only send it sentence by sentence by sentence through text. I mean, I think you saw the difference between corporate media and independent media in Egypt when the thugs broke down the satellites of the networks. They couldn't do anything else, so you could just see their faces, and they were reporting through Skype. But Democracy Now! Is used to being scrappy and gritty and using low-tech technology, or perhaps the highest tech, but cheapest technology. Necessity is the mother invention. We've always been sending broadcast quality reports through the internet, though we can use satellites too, though they're more expensive. So when the satellites were knocked out, We just sent the video broadcasts through the internet, and so when the networks are just showing the faces of the Western anchors, Sharif was sending 20, 25-minute broadcasts of the people in the streets, the young surgeon, the older lawyer, the high school girl who is starting a new newspaper, and you came to know them and care about them and wait to know what happened to them the next day. That's the power of independent media.
And so that's an amazing takeaway that people can leave Boston with, thinking about the power of independent media. And do you have some words of advice to young journalists out there that are watching this at home?
I have words of advice to young and old journalists, to people feeling for so long there was only a select few gatekeepers, you know, those pundits in Washington on all the networks who know so little about so much, explaining the world to us and getting it so wrong. Now the world can tweet, can text, can talk, can be heard and seen. That's independent media on the move.
Thank you so much.